Today we're diving into the true essentials that you need for your baby. We're going minimalist style. We've had two babies, both really close in age. These are the things we use the most. You don't need most of the stuff that they sell to you out there, so stay tuned. My name is Mia Alexandria and I share motherhood, homemaking and lifestyle videos, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to this channel. Number one, the first one we're going to dive in with is at least 2 bottles. This is kind of an interesting one. I did breastfeed my babies for the first part of their lives, and then we ended up going on to bottles. However, I was super minimalist and thought I needed 1 bottle and I could cope, and I would wash it out every time, and I would be super minimalist and only own a certain amount, and that was kind of ridiculous. I definitely needed at least 2 bottles. So if you're super minimalist, then you know, maybe you can cope with just the 1, but I'm kind of a normal person, and so 2 at least was the best choice for us and for our family. Another one I would recommend is Dummies or pacifiers. This one's a little bit controversial, but I would say it really helped our babies to sleep really well. Our baby slept through the night from 7 weeks and 3 months old. You can check out some videos that I've done on that, on how our babies adapted to our techniques. But Dummies were a big part in helping them feel comforted and aiding their sleep and stretching their sleep longer. So I definitely say that Dummies are a must for us. So another essential that I would say you should get is a nursing cover. If you are choosing to breastfeed, of course, this just came in handy all the time. You know, and lots of people just think, oh, just whack it out and breastfeed, and that is absolutely fine, more to you. But I personally felt way more comfortable and way more relaxed with a nursing cover. I went through a few of these. I tried the one that's almost like you slip in and your head pops out and it's all stretchy, which worked quite well, but the best one that I definitely found was more like an apron. Slip it over your head, and it has a wire bar sort of thing here, and the cloak or the apron just drapes from that point. So as you're breastfeeding, you can see your baby, there's lots of access, there's airflow, but you're covered up, and you know what, it kind of looks pretty too. So I definitely recommend a nursing cover. This one is an absolute must. Don't faff around with baby outfits. Just buy zip-up onesies, and you can buy the ones with the poppers too, yes, fine, but the zip-up ones are going to be your best friend. They're so easy, takes 2 seconds to zip them up, and when you're in that pinch of a blowout and they've pooped everywhere, they've weed everywhere, or you need to get them changed relatively fast, you're gonna zip up that onesie and it's done. I would definitely recommend those. Alongside that, I would recommend vests. Vests were an absolute essential for us. They're the short sleeve things that sit under the onesie. We got through hundreds of these things. Ended up, you know, throwing some away because they were just completely and utterly ruined by poo and other things, etc. And so we always had them in hand, and we're constantly changing them. So if you're going to stock up on anything, I would say zip up onesies and vests will be your best friend. Okay, this one is my husband's choice. He would say the absolute essential is a bib. I didn't find it that essential, really. I didn't really mind mess. He enjoyed always having a bib on the babies as they dribble. You can just wipe it quick. But on that note, for my essentials, I would say muslins. We use muslins all the time in a pinch. It's a nursing cover, it's a little blanket. If it's in the summer, it's a burp cloth, it's an everything. I would recommend getting really big size. I had one really big stripy one that I use as a nursing cover, tie it round, blanket, like I just said, all of those ones, but then having the smaller ones as well. You might need maybe 5 muslins and 1 really big one. That worked really well for us. An absolute essential for us is the Baby ERGO carrier. This is an incredible thing. I used it from birth, and I use it still to this day with toddlers and babies. And it's lasted a lifetime. You can shove it in the wash. I'll leave a link to it down below, but it's just been the best one for us. It feels really comfortable. I did use the big wraparound slings when my kids were newborns, and I faffed around with that for a really long time. Eventually got the hang of it, but I would say that isn't as necessary to me as the ERGO carrier. You can use it newborn, you can use it when they're older, you can transfer to the back. Definite must for fussy babies, teething babies, babies that just need mama all the time, which is completely normal, and so just popping them in the carrier is definitely something you need to have on hand. And you can experiment with the different type of carrier that works for you. I would say if you hate baby carrying, then you probably just haven't found the right carrier. and it's not been comfortable and a comfortable experience for you. So just try and figure out, do some research on a carrier that works. I'll link the ones that we love down below. Okay, this one is an obvious given, but if you're literally making a list on what to buy for when baby arrives, you're going to need nappies and wipes. We just use disposable nappies and wipes. I like the Huggies wipes because they pull out easily and they're nice and moist, and so they're not dry and hard to wipe. They're just moist, they moisturize the baby's bum as well, and they're soft, and I find them the best one. My husband would have a different opinion on that, but that's what I think. You can obviously also get reusable nappies. We do have some upstairs, but I haven't used them yet. I haven't branched out into it. I've had two babies 13 months apart, and so I never felt like this season was there. I must branch out and use reusable nappies because my life would just be chaos, and I don't have a tumble dryer, in case you guys didn't already know that, for those that have watched the videos before. So yeah, reusable nappies are not for this season of my life, but I would like to try them at some point in the future. Okay, this next one was a must and so helps babies sleep, and it's Swaddles. You can get different types of Swaddles. The ones that worked for us were related to the snoo, because we use the snoo bassinet to help our babies sleep, and it was absolutely worth the price. I'll leave the video linked for the snoo review that I did down below, so check that out if you'd like to know more. But I would definitely also say that an essential for us was the snoo bassinet sleeper, and along with that the snoo Swaddles. We did buy more Swaddles in the end, but our babies just took to them really well. They're nice and cozy. You can do arms in, arms out, you can have your choice really, but those were a must. I also really liked the big stretchy cloth wrapping swaddle technique for when you're in a pinch and you're in someone else's cot, or you're in a travel cot and you're not in the snoo, just being able to wrap them up. My babies love to be swaddled. At first they're a little bit wriggly, but they do adjust and they do tend to like it. And if your baby doesn't love their arms down or whatever, you can get angel sleepers where arms are sort of up a little bit, so it might be nice having one or two different kinds. But again, don't buy these things because you think you need everything for when baby arrives. Life is quite easy these days in terms of being able to get hold of stuff. You can look on Amazon and get one delivered the next day, sometimes the same day. Facebook Marketplace, friends, family, supermarkets. Don't worry, you're not going to need everything right away. Take your time and see what works for you and for your baby, of course. Along with the sleep path, we really found that white noise machines were essential to us. Now, a lot of people have said, oh, if you use white noise then your babies will only need white noise to go to sleep and they'll never sleep, and that's just so not the case. Our kids don't use white noise anymore. They don't need blackout, they don't need a super dark space, they don't need the snoo to sleep. You know, they've transitioned perfectly fine with without using those things. But for that newborn stretch and that stretch up until they're about 1 or maybe a bit before, the white noise machine was such a blessing to us. You could pop it on in the car, in the pram. I didn't really care if it was noisy. At other people's homes, it just takes the edge off if you make a noise when you're outside the room, or if somebody coughs, then they're not going to wake up and you're not going to be that parent that's like, shh, the baby's asleep, the baby's asleep. You know, it takes that away because you've got the white noise and it blocks out the rest of the world, and I just found them super beneficial because I didn't want to be that parent. Another essential for us was a car seat, obviously, but a specific car seat that you can take in and out of the house. We now use the 360 spin seats, and I would call those a definite essential for when your child gets a bit older. But for those first few months, I just loved putting the baby into the car seat and then carrying that car seat and plonking it in the car. On an Isofix base, or you can use the seatbelt wraparound ones. I absolutely thought this was essential because sometimes I didn't want to have to faff around putting the baby in the carrier and then walking to the car and then getting them out and then putting them in. You know, it's just, if you're going in someone's house, you pick up the car seat, you can put it back, especially if they're asleep. If they're not in the car seat for too long, they can have that nice stretch of sleep in the car seat for, I think it's like 40 minutes or whatever they say. I don't really know. I think I did a bit longer than that, definitely. But then you can put them back and then they're not disturbed. They have their sleep, and that's great for a newborn baby that hopefully is going to sleep all the time. So next essential I would say is some form of baby monitor. Now you don't have to use the big ones where you can see exactly what they're doing. Some of our friends and family just have the monitors that you can hear what's happening, and I just think some form of baby monitor is really, really useful. Just again, it takes the guesswork out. Are they crying? Are they not crying? Do I need to go up for when they're a bit older? Do I need to go up? Do I need to not? Do I need to stay? Shall I wait it out? Shall I go in or shall I feed? Or what do they need? It takes the guesswork out. You can just listen. That's fine, I know that cry. Or that's fine, I know that cry. That cry means this, da 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 da. And it just absolutely takes the guesswork out. And so I would say that is a definite must for you mamas out there. And you could get ones that don't go through Wi-Fi, so it's not kind of connected to the internet realm. I don't really know, but my husband's big on that. So my last essential item I would say is a baby bath snuggle. Now we've used the bath sponges before for newborns and just put that in our big bath, but I would definitely say saving a little bit of storage room for a bath snuggle me is just a life changer. I found it so easy with my second because they're safe, secure, and they kind of sit there and you can sort of be one-handed with them instead of sort of both hands, and it's, you know, it's not slippy. It just works really, really well, and it has worked really well for our babies. And obviously newborns don't need to be bathed that much, but when they do, having a snuggle me is really great because you can take it around with you, and if we would take it traveling with us, we'd shove things inside and use it as a little basket, so it's multi-purpose. So now moving on to sort of second essentials, which mean that they're not absolute musts that you must buy for when you're having your baby, but I would say these things have been essentials for us as the kids have gone through the first few months of life. The first one is something called cheeky wipes, and they are basically, instead of wiping your baby's face with a face wipe or a baby wipe or whatever, we have these reusable wipes, and you can actually use them as full-on reusable wipes and never buy wipes again, but we use them for kind of wiping food or wiping spit or wiping spills and messes on themselves, and you just rinse them in hot water. They go straight in the wash and you can just reuse and reuse. We use these on the daily, like multiple times a day. So this is a definite second essential for us. Okay, the next second essential that we needed was the Mums on Call sleeping book. Now, if you haven't checked out the video, again, it's in the one below on how I got my kids to sleep through the night, but we use the Mums on Call training sleep method, and I would refer to their book. I had it on the iPad, their book constantly, like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? What am I doing now? How are they doing? What, you know, everything. There's just everything is in this book, and so I definitely recommend downloading that if you choose to follow the Mums on Call, or something like a handbook that you can refer to, because I just sometimes think that knowledge is power, and if you can look it up, you know, we're Googling all the time, aren't we? We're always Googling, like, what does this mean when? And so having this book that was sort of like a little bit of a fount of knowledge for me was really useful, especially because I'm one of the youngest with my friends having babies. I don't have many friends that have babies because here it's not very normal to have babies at 24, so I found that essential. I'm not 24 anymore. Kind of wish I was. No, I don't, but anyway. Okay, so like I said earlier, another second essential for us is the 360 car seat. That spinning car seat for when you're not using them in the heavy carry car seat. You throw them in, you spin the seat, and it just spins to you. The door is open, you pop them in and you turn it around, and they can face forward, they can rear face. Obviously for the first while of their life they'll be rear facing, and then you can spin them round, spin them everywhere, and it locks into place. Super safe, has all the inserts. Oh, an absolute must. Would definitely recommend. I love these car seats. So easy to clean, take it all out. They've been sicked on, pooed on, everything in our car, and they look brand new whenever we go into the car because you can wash them so easily and so well. So absolutely recommend that one. Okay, another second essential I would say, depending on your lifestyle, is a travel cot. Now we use travel cots all the time. We're in church quite a lot, so I would nut my babies at church, at friends' houses, in lounges, elsewhere, you know, here, there and everywhere. Travel cots have been essential for us. Not something you need to buy when you're just having your baby first off, but something that's really useful and probably a good backup if your bassinet or whatever you choose to use isn't working. A lot of people find that the pack and play or the travel cot things are what their baby sleeps in best, and so if that works for your baby, then try it, and it's useful to have on hand. They don't cost very much, you can get them so easily secondhand, and I would say these are essential beneficial and have been for us. All right, and there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, this is just my opinion, and what you need for your baby might be entirely and completely different, but this is just my sort of minimalist, simple approach. If I were to have another baby, I would definitely be thinking of these things first, and then everything else is kind of fluffy. If you want to check out what you should not buy, then check out my baby products I regret buying video, because there are some crackers in there that everyone thinks you should buy, but I would absolutely say you do not, and you shouldn't. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.